Sige lang, rolling na kayo. Kamusta? Kumusta? You're back in Manila.
Ito na yun. Start na.
Bakit? Ano gusto mo? Gusto mo
Wala. Akala ko hey everybody.
Wala. Nakakatamad yung ganun para sa akin at least. Kumusta? Back in Manila?
Okay naman. As usual, lagi kong agenda kumakain ng Filipino food.
Galing kang tablo?
Well, not Filipino food, but galing kang tablo. Pero it's to meet my cousin. Nabalikbayan din. But yeah, maraming sisig, maraming fatty foods, pero best.
Dito ba kayo nag-Christmas ulit? I know you're very close with your family.
Nag-Christmas kami sa Bangkok ni Mom tsaka ni Denise, ang sister ko. And then, right after lumipad kami, and then 26 nandito na kami. Tapos New Year here.
Kumusta ang Bangkok Christmas? Anong ginagawa dun?
It feels similar to Philippines a little bit, like with the decor. At least kung saan kami bumisita ng mga malls, maraming Christmas lights and Christmas tree, and magandang shopping, so feels like Christmas.
Okay lang naman yan. I know because we've been working together for years. I know family is one thing that's very important to you. Diba? Minsan pag umuwi ka, magme-message ka, nandito ako. Tapos tinatanong lang kita, gusto mo bang mag-gig? Hindi, family lang. Or parang magbe-birthday lang, sinurprise ko lang si mommy. Why do you think that is? I know, yun. So it's mainly you, your mom, and then your sister Denise. Why is family such a big thing for you?
I think I grew up with my family talaga, like my bigger family, especially my cousins. Madami kami, like 30 kami magpipinsan sa mom's side. And we always would go out of town when we were kids. Wide yung age range namin cousins, like 6 years apart. And somehow we all come together and then we play games. We have the same humor. We laugh at the same things. And we have a lot of shared experiences kasi para kami ng pinanggalingan ng magulang namin. So, growing up, like kami nagbabagyo, Tagaytay, Subic for the weekend. And then I also lost my dad very early on, as you know, like when I was 9.
Car accident?
Oo. Okay. And ever since then, lalo na akong mas naging close sa kanila. Kasi syempre sila na yung parang they felt like home talaga, and they felt like a source of comfort when we were struggling with that, especially because naiwan na lang yung mom ko and I'm the eldest and I was still so young to process that. So I grew up with that kind of environment, and even now we, like me and my cousins and my titos and titas, we all gather once a month or whatever. Kahit wala ako, kahit nasa Japan ako, they do that. So they just send. And our family Viber is super active. So it's just ingrained in me, I guess. And also, a lot of Filipinos are like that. We're very close-knit with our family. So it's also cultural. Yeah.
I guess. But siguro, I'm, at least aside from family, like if there's one thing or one experience or one idea na parang pag alam ko to, alam ko si Reese. So kunwari, for me, it's I love music, diba? Parang kung if you understand that Jason loves music, you'll get along, diba? But what's one thing for you na parang okay, if I know this, alam ko si Reese?
I think first of all, yun, if yung alam mo na important yung family sa akin, and like my sister's my best friend, like in a very, very deep level, and not just like, close sila. But
hindi kayo close lang. As in, hindi talaga.
Yeah. So, feeling ko, if you know that and understand that, then yeah, you know me for sure.
Tell me more about that. Like, when at least I see it, but what do you normally do? Like, how are you close with your sister and mom? Or at least maybe Den, siguro in particular. Kasi I know for one thing, pag may take na photos or anything creative, whether it's a Facebook post, ganun, parang okay, you're obviously very particular with the aesthetic, branding, and ganun. But then also, alam mo, recently lang, di ba, yung when we posted the gig, sinabi mo, teka lang, one last check kay Den. Di ba? Ganun. I mean, kumbaga, tell me how that dynamic works for you guys.
Okay. Well, since I'm the ate, parang feeling ko, like younger siblings, usually yung pattern, they kind of take after their older sibling. Or Usually, diba? Not all the time. But parang, okay, their interests become the younger siblings' interests. And especially if you're like the same, kung nga girl or boy. It depends. But usually that happens. And then, yung passion ko and interest for creative stuff and arts, I think it just runs in the family, like the bigger family even in general. And we see it in my mom also, and our family business is also arts related. So lahat kami may sense of, I don't know, like my artistic sense. And wala kaming sporty anything, like sporty bone in our body, nothing. So I think like yun na lang yung sa amin.
Yun na yung lubag-loob.
Yeah, yung right brain namin. And I trust her taste talaga, like at least for my sister. I trust her sense of space, her sense of balance. She's an interior designer, so there are things that she's very good at that I'm not good at, even though I'm a visual person also. I'm very concept-based, ideas-based, but I think she polishes. And even in like decision making, for example, shopping. Pare, may bibilin ako na damit. Yung feeling ko lang is, okay, I just have the feeling that this is cool, this is nice, I like this. Pero in terms of like selecting or narrowing down which one it is, I always need to call her. Even if I'm abroad, I would call her. Hindi ako maka-decide kung hindi niya sabihin kung ano gagawin ko.
Okay to.
In a way, yeah, medyo dependent ako. Means, like, yeah. I mean,
Medyo
syempre,
madalas.
obviously, if I have to decide, I will. Pero if I can have her input, it
Why
will
not?
feel better,
Diba?
yeah.
Okay, you also mentioned your mom, I think, and even the family business is also, parang it's also centered around creative work, diba? So, what's the family business ba specifically?
So our family business is very art centric. We have a gallery and we also frame for hotels and buildings and homes. For art, we frame some art collections and stuff like that. So this was since I was born, we already had this family business na stinart ng mom and dad ko. So, yun, that's the environment that I grew up in. Tapos kapag papasalubungan ako ng mom and dad ko, nung only child pa lang ako, it's always markers and paints. And I had oil paints when I was grade 4. So, parang they really just encouraged me to play. So, I think I was confident that I had some creativity in me because I was empowered early on.
So, parang you were, even from an early age, you were encouraged to be just creative. Wala namang expectation to do anything. Parang
No, yeah.
halo lang talaga.
And parang hindi naman, during our generation, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was an obvious career path, like art, diba? Parang it was very doctor, lawyer, very, I don't know, like art was not considered at the time parang a path that you can easily take in a way. Actually, it's not even easy to be an artist until now, but parang now that there's the internet, it's just more parang open for discovery. So you can, like, if you're a kid and you see like a YouTube video of someone creating art, and you can easily learn from that, and you can copy it, and you can easily discover like, hey, magaling pala ako, or hey, hindi ako magaling. And so in a way, it's easier to learn how to become whatever you want and to try different things.
You mentioned something that I know is very well and dear to your heart, which is the internet. As in, diba? Parang, I guess in 2008 or 2009, you already started posting covers on YouTube, diba? I think that's one thing na hindi alam ng, or at least hindi madalas nakikita ng tao.
Huwag niyo nang alamin.
Huwag niyo nang alamin.
Okay na yun.
Okay lang yan. But I guess the consistency na parang hindi siya one-time thing. Kumbaga, tuloy-tuloy lang siya. How do you think in general the internet naman has changed your perspective on life, the arts, ganun?
I think it empowered me a lot, especially when I was younger, like 16, 15, because I took up songwriting mainly because of the internet. Kasi I saw, like, yung sa YouTube feature page ba dati may featured page in like 2006 or something. There's a featured page and then they just choose like a few videos to spotlight for the week. Is it for the week? And there's one video that was by this girl from the UK, I think, and or the US, I don't know. But it was her original song, tapos parang naka-webcam lang siya sa kwarto niya, and she was singing it. And sabi ko, parang meron naman akong guitar, meron naman akong kwarto, meron akong webcam. Then I guess like I can also write songs too, like her. Because I already had an interest in like music, kasi nga I got it from my dad. My dad used to play guitar and trumpet. And then I taught myself how to play guitar with chord books and stuff. But songwriting, parang it wasn't a thing that I discovered yet. But I liked writing like fiction. I liked writing poems. So sabi ko, try natin mag-songwriting. Parang minimik ko lang yung chords na ginagawa niya. Sobrang simple chords lang. And then, back then, I was trying to write songs that weren't even like true to life. As in, heartbreak. Pero high school pa ako naman alam doon. But I tried to mimic what I heard. And then, that's how I got started with songwriting. So I think the internet really made me realize that I can be a songwriter. Yeah.
That's something that at least I'm sure a lot of people have told you rin, especially with your music, is you're very descriptive. Parang it's a very, ano siya, you hit very specific narratives compared to, kunwari, Josh, nung kausap ko siya. Sobrang complete opposites kayo eh. Sa kanya, di ba, mas vague, mas general. Sa'yo parang, okay, ito yung
nangyari.
Ito yung nangyari halos talaga, ganun. Do you think, I think at least, it makes sense to me that kaya ganun because you write and read a lot of fiction. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Parang, how do you think that, like, what specifically in, like, writing, or what do you write about, or what do you read about, and how does that help you in, at least, songwriting?
I think one of my earliest identities was a reader as a kid. And my dad used to take me to National Bookstore after, like, I don't know, as a reward, parang, okay, bili tayo ng Nancy Drew, like one Nancy Drew or one Sweet Valley. And
or
that
a
was...
reward, like, nag-honor student ka? Ganun,
actually,
not even.
Parang good
Trip
day lang.
Good day
oo.
lang. Okay.
And then I would savor that or even read it within the day since they were so short. And then, yun na, tapos paulit-ulit na yun. And then I borrowed a lot at the library. And inuubos ko yung limit ng library namin. Like you can
5 or 10?
O sa amin 3 books lang. And inubos ko yun. And I would just read and buy a lot. And I think like when I was grade 6 or even when I was in high school, I was known as a writer. As in writer lang. That I got voted like I think I got a future Palanca awardee award sa yearbook. Alam mo yung when they do
ganun,
those like Miss Popular or whatever, and
Miss
they voted
Future Palanca awardee, ganun.
Pero hindi na totoo yun. Pero that was my identity. So I was a writer, and then ano yung tanong?
Okay lang. I'm curious naman how
paano?
when did you start? How
Descriptive
does that fall
kasi.
into kumbaga, so at least
Yeah.
you read a lot,
Yeah.
and then how did that transition naman into writing, I guess, songs, di ba? For you.
Yeah.
Paano nangyari yung transition?
I think I like descriptive writing also. I like reading descriptive writing. I'm not, to be honest, like when I read, I'm very plot driven, which is weird. I'm plot driven, but I do like flowery language. But I do not like conversation too much. Yung dialogue. Syempre important yun para sa libro, but yun lang yung taste ko. So, I do like getting a sense of place. I like the specific aspects of a scene when it's being painted. And I love country music also. I think I discovered it and grew to love it more because of American Idol. Like when I was watching it, they would always have country week. And every time, parang, shucks, bet na bet ko yung mga country entries nila. And I discovered Dixie Chicks then, who I really, really liked. Now the Chicks na lang sila, who I really liked in early high school. And country music is very storytelling based. Diba? Parang, here's what happened to Joanna and like
here's the
with
old
names.
country road.
Yeah, parang with names and like generational parang stories sometimes. And I think I heard it from there and I picked it up. I also like musicals, and obviously that's describing every scene as it happens. So yun lang yung parang pinapakinggan ko and background ko, which is I think which is why it translated to my music.
I know one thing that you also really like, which is Disney. Is that okay lang? Kumbaga, that's something na I think it's also very storytelling. It's also very narrative driven. Does that also play into what you do?
Yeah, so musicals, 'di ba? Like, syempre kasama na dun yung Disney. Actually, my dad wanted me to be a theater actress. Hindi naman like, oy, pangarap ko to. But he wanted, I vividly remember, he wanted me to take classes in rep. But parang hindi na namin nagawa kasi nawala na siya. And ako naman, di ko naman alam kung ano yun. I was like, sige, whatever.
Game lang.
Yeah, whatever, kung ano man yan. But I just like singing, but I didn't like singing in public. So parang I struggled with that also. Yeah, definitely Disney, like the influence there, that really helped me be more descriptive and specific with my writing.
Something you mentioned is also you like understanding the spaces, I guess. And one question, at least when people see me, and because they know I work with you a lot, is that parang, ay, si Reese nasa Japan na. Anong ginagawa niya dun? I guess talk some people through the whole thing. Parang, and I know you're now based in Japan, di ba? Mainly in Japan. Pero pa singit-singit lang kung kailan dito.
Well, I've always wanted to go there, live for a while there, because I'm just naturally interested in traveling around there. I feel safe there also. And that's a luxury, I think. I like, my interests just lean towards a lot of Japanese pop culture and Asian pop culture, to be honest. But especially when I was younger, lahat naman tayo nanonood ng anime. We all have our favorite anime. So it started there, reading manga. And when I started traveling there with my family, I really liked it because I just felt like all my obsessions. I love like cute things. I love stationery. I'm
guessing madalas ka sa Harajuku.
Yeah, toys. I love little toys. So all of those obsessions. I love magazines and print media. So all of those obsessions, I feel like it's present in Japan even until now. Like print is not super prevalent anymore, but it's super alive there, like never before. And also CDs are still like a huge
Tower
thing
Records,
there.
iba, malakas pa rin dun.
Tower Records is like 8 floors or more. I don't know. So I found, I guess I felt like I felt nourished in a way, creatively nourished there in Japan. So I wanted to try living there for a little bit, and then the little bit became a lot of bit. A lot of bit. But I feel like yun nga, parang I feel creatively fulfilled, not just in music, but also just in life and in my other hobbies. Parang feeling ko I discovered myself outside of being a musician, which is important because I've always felt like I love music, but I don't think it's my entire life, and I felt a lot of guilt in not having it be my life when it's like my work in a way. And all of my peers seem to just love it in that way, in that like maximum way, and really, 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 they're really devoted to it. A lot of my friends,
Tinagaba, Josh, Arj.
yeah, right. They live and breathe it, and they're very, very good at what they do. And parang feeling ko like, do I even deserve to be in this space? Because I love music, and I feel like I'm capable of making good music, but it's just not something that I think about every day, and that made me feel bad.
But I remember having this sort of conversation naman na it doesn't have to feel like you are not one thing, diba?
Yeah.
I think yun nga, your Twitter bio for the longest time was, ano yun?
Many things she cannot compromise.
Something sushi. Ano
yeah,
yun?
yeah.
Ano yun? Nakalimutan ko.
She
Oh
has
my
many
God.
things rolled into one convenient sushi.
Because I
Kind of
think,
thing.
yun nga, it's also freeing, I guess, to have hobbies, di ba? Parang just something outside of the main thing because hindi masaya na isa lang talaga mismo yung ginagawa mo, di ba? And I'm curious, like, what hobbies have you developed in Japan? Kasi I know, nakaka-bike ka na ba doon?
Yeah.
Kasi I know for the longest time, hindi ka nakaka-bike.
Yeah.
Hindi ka marunong mag-bike
Di ako
dito.
marunong mag-bike. As an adult, di ako marunong mag-bike. I mean, I bike in Japan. I learned how to bike there and binilan ako ng bike ng mom and ni Denise. But I'm still not 100% confident biking. Kasi, alam mo yung di ko kaya ng one hand, gano'n. Yung balance ko, hindi pa siya, hindi pa siya,
Wala
hindi ko kaya
kang
mag-text.
sporty bone eh.
Yeah, hindi walang sporty bone. Obviously, not responsible to text while biking. But like, alam mo yun, hindi ko
Sorry,
kaya
ginagawa ko yun eh.
yun, hindi ko kaya mag one hand. Pero that's like one thing, diba? And syempre, I walk a lot there. Di halata. Pero I walk a lot there and then I see a lot of things. Yung stationary hobby ko, like my journaling hobby, at ginagawa ko naman siya noon pa here. Pero obviously, magmumultiply yun if you have all the resources there. The best stationery is there. The best, the most advanced, like technologically advanced, like erasers and pens.
Paano? What is
As in,
how
like,
can
for
you
example,
advance
a mechanical pencil, they have multiple types of mechanical pencil. One that you don't have to, yung hindi mo kailangan i-press
I-press.
para lumabas yung lead. One that, like, every sulat mo,
since paunti-unti na
Yeah.
siyang lumalabas?
yeah, at saka umiikot siya little by little para never nagiging dull yung tip. Yung mga ganun.
Okay.
Like, stuff na parang first world problems.
Only
ganyan.
in Japan.
Oo. Or export it, right? So, yun, and then documenting my life, that's also, well, that's a thing that I've done din naman here, but I felt like mas nag-intensify sa Japan also. But the weird thing is I don't really post anymore.
Oo nga.
I barely
I mean,
do.
hindi naman complete, but
Yeah.
relative opposite. Like, as
Yeah.
when you were here,
Weird,
I wanna say,
diba?
medyo full-time
Yeah.
as a musician.
Yeah.
Siyempre, it was so ingrained. Okay, post lang, ganun.
May
But,
gig, ganyan yan.
but now, how do you feel about that? Because I'm sure I mean, at least for me, and the people I find who normally go a little off social media are happier. Diba? Is that the same experience for you?
I feel happier. I feel free. But also, meron pa rin onting parang neglecting my responsibilities a little bit because it's still part of my psyche. There are a lot of things. Syempre, pag punta ka ng Japan, parang, okay, everyone creates content now that I feel like may maa-add pa ba ako dito. Which I think is still, like, the answer is yes naman. Lahat naman tayo
May
may
unique
maa-add.
perspective.
Oo. But I don't know, parang feeling ko lang, I freed myself by removing expectations of like when to post or what to post or like what to update people with and stuff. So I feel happier in that sense. But there's also like, should I do this? Should I do that more? There's pressure also, which makes me a little bit miserable sometimes. So it's like
I mean,
yeah.
but I think, I think and a lot of people have also mentioned to me na parang, kumusta si Reese? Nagpo-post pa ba siya? Or parang hindi ko nakita. Na I say, kailangan ba niya mag-post? Hindi naman. I mean,
Yeah.
I think part of the reason, at least when we had talked about it partially, was, you mentioned, this Japan thing didn't happen overnight. We had talked about it a year or two before. Na parang okay, Jason, nag-a-apply ako Sinabihan mo kami ni Jamie na parang, yung co-manager na parang, ay, mangyayari to. Parang and I think, it's also freeing in the sense na, okay, I don't need to. I don't have to. Diba? And I guess, how does, given like, your family history, kumbaga, early YouTube and just reading and even moving to Japan, how have all of these experiences shaped your core beliefs about life? Because I'm sure sobrang nagbago na siya from I guess, 2-3 years ago, especially with moving to Japan? What's changed for you, I guess?
Feeling ko mas naging extroverted ako doon. I don't know if it's a function of the place because I'm a foreigner there and I kind of have to extend myself to be able to experience things. I am less shy in a way there. So I talk to people, kahit di ko kilala. I take chances more there. Not in career, but like in
Smaller
conversation.
things.
Oh, in smaller things. I take myself out a lot. I love being alone there. Parang na-realize ko sa sarili ko na I cherish my alone time a lot. And thankful ako na hindi ako malungkot mag-isa kasi mahirap mag-isa kapag dinadamdam mo na parang pag ano ka extrovert or mahilig ka lagi may kasama. I love company but also parang since I live with my family ever since, never naman ako naging mag-isa in our house kasi lagi din naman kami magkadikit na sister ko. So parang cherish ko lang din yung alone time ko. I feel like that's one thing that I really hold dear. Parang time alone and my freedom, yung tipong hawak ko yung oras ko, yung travel time ko, medyo mapaplano ko.
Tsaka maayos kasi yung travel time nila doon.
Medyo accurate yung pagplano mo ng day mo kasi you can
Down to the
literally,
minute.
you can literally select what trains you'll ride and you will know what time more or less you'll arrive. And you can do multiple places. Mahilig pa naman ako magtuhog as a person na parang, okay, let's do this
Lagare.
in one day. Yeah, lagare. Which is kind of hard to do here unless magkakalapit yung gagawin mo. So yun, parang the value of being alone or like spending time alone, nourishing myself and my freedom. And yun, being like taking chances with like people or like conversation, putting myself out there kasi ang dami ko nang na-meet na tao na na-meet ko lang dahil kinausap ko lang sila kasi katabi ko sila while waiting, and then we've had good talk, we've had a good talk tapos nag-blossom siya into a friendship. Like pag uwi ko sa Japan that weekend, magkakaroon ako ng show sa Ginza because this girl that I met in Shibuya by chance last year. Kinausap ko lang siya. Like, I sat at her like art workshop. And then kinausap ko siya. Turns out we were age mates. She's Japanese. And then I really liked her vibe. And then sabi ko, sige, let's connect. And then I visited her. She invited me to her home sa may beach. Tapos nag-usap kami. Tapos yun na, like we're good friends. And then she invited me to do a collab show. So she's a painter. So while she's gonna paint, I'm gonna sing some songs while we create like a art piece together kind of thing, which won't happen if I didn't. Parang if hindi ako naging epal and anong pangalan mo, like anong ginagawa mo. So yun, I think those things really contributed to my my core beliefs.
Okay. And I also know na meron ka nang nahanap na bandmates sa Japan, di ba? Kumusta yun? How's that experience na parang, at least for years, playing with Josh, Gaba, Echo, April, the usual suspects, di ba? Kumusta yung, iba to
Well, hindi naman sila bandmates in the way that my bandmates are here in Philippines. Like, they're my friends. Okay, the tropa din naman yung, but they're more professional lang or yung isa hobbyist lang. And pinut together lang siya ng isang person na gustong tumulong sa akin. So, tinulungan niya ako, binabayaran niya yung studio sessions namin. Pupunta lang ako doon, tapos mag-jam lang kami. Tapos masaya na siya na parang, naririnig ko yung songs mo in a band in Japan. And that's really cool. And nag-arrange din kasi siya yung gitarista. So, it's fun because parang, nire-interpret yung song ko in a different way. And I also am careful to tell them na, don't really play it as it is. Like, you can play it however you want. But, there's certain sounds, especially sa guitar. Mas particular ako kasi magaling si Josh gumawa ng riffs eh.
Magaling nga talaga.
So, mahirap mag-veer away from what he does because it's so the sound is kind
nature,
of the sound of my song, especially live, it's like Josh is a huge part of that. or like someone who's really good. It could not, pwedeng hindi si Josh, but it has to be someone who's really good at making catchy hooks and melodies, and more importantly, yung someone who will understand how I perform and how I play, which is very like
Feel. Very
yeah,
feel.
very feel based. And Josh, we've been playing together for forever, since like we were like seedlings. So he understands. He has a good understanding of me as a person already, so that helps a lot. So it's interesting to hear my songs reinterpreted by different people.
Something you said is something I know you're particular yun nga, with guitar sounds, with arrangements, some of the arrangements, but most people I think will recognize you for being a very particular aesthetic. More than one person has told
Really?
both of us na parang, "Uy, ang grabe, iba talaga yung branding ni Reese, iba yung diba? I mean, for us, diba, we talk about it, but I'm guessing, where do you think that comes from? And I think it has a lot to do with you, just, at least, for where I come from, and I think this will help a lot of other artists, is the way I understand why your branding is so strong is because you really understand who you are as an artist and as a person. You won't be able to be confident about that if you're not sure about who you are.
Yeah.
Diba? And at least that's the way I see it.
Yeah. I
But
think
what's your
that's-
perspective on that?
I think that's right. Well, I feel thankful that they think that our branding is strong, because to be honest, feeling ko parang it's
Okay, game.
whatever. Parang it's kung anong maisipan,
At that
which I
moment.
think is an aesthetic in itself, na parang I draw everything from me and like friends I trust, friends whose taste I trust. So it's all feel based. I'm not thinking this is my strategy, this is my aesthetic, and we're sticking to this mood board
Or
for
this
my entire
branding,
career. Hindi, it's more like this is like I'm getting into these types of elements now. Let's put it, kasi ako din naman yung like most of the time, or like a lot of the times, if medyo mid yung result, ibig sabihin ako nag-design. Parang if it's more upscale, like time well spent, that's like good friends who are designers.
And those
who
would
design
be
for
like
me.
Pao Chu,
yeah.
Karen Minsan, Karen De La Fuente sometimes helps out.
Photographer, yeah.
Or even with some of the visuals, si
Ramos.
Jello.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So yun, like experts that are my friends also who have great eye. But a lot of the times I have to kind of design or come up with stuff on my own, and it just comes from me and like whatever I'm into at the moment. So I think that is the strength, kasi I'm drawing for my own self. I don't have an external persona in a way, like it's me. It's just me. So wala na akong kailangang isiping filter kundi yung sarili ko, which makes it easy and also hard, because like sticking to a logo, impossible. Which is why we always change our logo
Depending on, like, the
the season,
era.
which makes sense.
Makes sense.
Because K-pop does that a lot. But I can't stick to one logo because I can't. I'm glad people think that we have like a defined aesthetic, because I really don't feel that way. But if it's a byproduct of what we've
The
been
way
doing,
we
which is
work.
like vibes, then that's great.
Okay. So I guess para sa mga, so I guess the takeaway from that is wag mo nang habulin, gumawa ka na lang ng sarili mo talaga.
Well, I guess it's not applicable to everyone.
everyone.
Kasi parang there are artists who have their own, like who have different like stage persona. Like why si Chaperone, diba? Iba siya as
Off stage.
yeah,
And
as
when
her own person, and iba siya as Chapel. So parang or Chapel. Oh my God, Chapel. She might roast me. Anong tag dito? Ayun. So may distinction, and but I bet that it's still like part of an alter ego, or like something that she wants to express artistically. So I guess that advice won't apply to everyone, but it's what I've been doing, and yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm curious, ano yung one piece of learning na napulot mo sa Japan that you think would be helpful to everyone in general?
I think yun, parang put yourself out there in small ways. Not even online, kasi that's what we've all said before. Na parang post ka lang,
Post
which
ka
is
lang,
true,
oo.
but like now I don't post, so I don't feel like I resonate with that advice anymore. For me, just talk to people. Get over that fear of being ignored. I've been ignored so many times, especially when I'm in a room full of important people. I'm like, like nobody knows me. Nobody knows anything that I've done. If I've even done anything noteworthy, diba? Especially
think
in
so.
Japan. but yung tipong mapapaisip din ako na, oh my God, am I worthy to like talk to them or to start conversation with them? And I feel my insecurities come out also. But I still try. I fail a lot of times also, but I still try, and every time that I've tried and I receive good energy, I never regretted it. It always resulted to a friendship. It always resulted to like multiple meetups, or even if hindi kami maging best friends, 'di ba? I would have never been in this place
Position. If
or
you
in this
never
position if I
approached and just said hi.
Yeah. So, ang dami kong na-meet na ganyan sa Japan kasi madaldal ako doon.
Okay.
So, I think that
maging madaldal. Hindi naman.
be sensitive,
be sensitive, but kumbaga, try to put yourself out there in a
conversation.
Okay, sige.
Makiramdam ka din. But
Okay. We have a small tradition here where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest. This question, and without knowing who it was. So this question comes from Janoy Danao. Tapos he asks, ganyan, paano mo pinaparamdam ang pag-ibig sa kapwa mo?
oh, wow.
Sa kanya yan.
Ako, time.
Time? I think that's why you spend time talaga with your family. As in,
Yeah, but for example, I can't be there physically. I'm the type of person who would really stretch myself. I feel like you relate because you're like
everywhere.
overstretched. I stretch myself because I'm lucky. I have a lot of energy. I think I have a lot of energy. So hindi din ako madaling mag-give up in terms of like pagod. Especially if it's not like a physical thing. Pag papahike mo ako, syempre nag-give up ako.
Wala kang sport. Basta wag lang sporty.
Wag sport. Like if it's like conversation
Game.
and like spending
Tambay.
time halfway tambay. Yeah, lagi akong like, sige, meet you at 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. and then 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. iba naman. Laging ganon. So I try to just be there, or at least spend time, get to know. I mean, not even get to know, but like if they're really close na, just spend time and be there for company, just exist with them. I think that's how I express love. I guess it's not overt na, uy, love kita, kaya ito nag-spend time, matandaan mo to but I just wanna give my time, and even though limited yon, pag nag-meet tayo, ibig sabihin, yung finite amount of time that I have, especially kung nandito ako, I'm giving that part to you, and that means that I care. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sige. So, with that in mind, could you leave a question for the next guest?
Susulat ko. Hindi na
pero hindi
malaman.
pero
Okay.
without, you don't need to say it out loud. Most people would be curious about is, and a lot of people ask me rin, is, do you have any, what are you looking forward to, I guess? So, not necessarily in terms of career. Kung meron man, okay lang. Pero what's next for you? I know you started late last year a job in music publishing. Tama ba?
Related.
to music.
Yeah.
So,
Publishing music agency.
what are you excited for, I guess?
I'm excited to earn money. I'm excited to earn money because
To earn
money. Yeah. Well, hindi naman malakas yung yen, pero just have money so I can live the quality of life that I want for myself, or like travel around, I really want to consciously make more music na I've been off it for a long time. May mga panakanakang ulan.
Okay.
Paunti-unti
Paunti,
songs, but like, I'm
I'm
very seasonal when I create. So, talagang matagal siya. It's like a long set. Carly Rae Jepsen, paano mo ba siya ginagawa?
50 siya eh, di ba?
Paano mo siya
50 ang kanta, tapos parang...
Paano mo ginagawa yan? Merong mga tao na hindi nagka-creative block at siya daw yun, sabi niya yun. But I'm just, I'm excited to find out where I'm going. Because I also, to be honest, I also don't know. And it's a weird place to be.
Well,
But I know that I have people who support me. And I have people who believe in
what
where
you-
I'm going, wherever I'm going.
May kakampi ka naman.
Kahit na parang, go, girl, tagal mo lang, walang ganap dyan, girl. But each and every time that we have like events and stuff, they show
People
up.
show up.
And they tell me that they're just here for me. And that's like, that means a lot talaga. Even though I've had nothing to show for in like a long time. So, their loyalty means a lot.
Okay lang. Well, yan. Alam mo naman, kakampi kita parate. Anytime. Sige. Last tradition, I guess, is since we at Minsan love music, we're making a playlist of just songs that our guests like. So it could be any song that you want to put onto the playlist, and maybe just tell us why. It could be your song. It could be a song that you think more people should be listening to. Ikaw na bahala. What song would that be?
Okay, hindi ako makaisip ng song na hindi ko song for now.
Sige lang, okay
Kasi
lang.
it's a lot of pressure. If it's my song, I think this could be it.
Okay.
From Time Well Spent. It's like track 13, so it's very buried deep. 13 nga ba? May ako nag-ayos ng track listing
Ano,
yan.
hindi ko memorize.
Basta maybe.
Basta nandyan yun.
Track 13. Yeah, alam ko 14
Teka lang,
tracks.
tignan natin.
Wait, what is my last song? Oh my God.
13 nga ba?
13.
13, tama.
Okay. Growing my Okay, yeah. This could be it. I really like that song and how I wrote that song. And if you're not patient, you might not get through the entire album. So you might be missing out. If you like my music and if you like how I write, I think you should listen to This Could Be It.
What particular thing about the song
I like-
is parang, okay, yun yung unang pumasok sa'yo?
I like the words that I chose, I think, and how to describe the specific feeling that I had before. Parang, alam mo yung, because it's about thinking, like, seeing this person and feeling like, this could be nothing, but this could also be something. And if it's something, then you would think about it, and that thought will grow and grow and grow in your head. And di naman nila alam yun, di naman alam ng other party yun, but that seed grows and it blooms like a garden in your head. So, yun yung parang naging imagery ko for like thinking about like a possibility of a possibility. Yun.
Alright. Thank you. Papakinggan. Yung This Could Be It. Listen to that. Thank you, Reese. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ganun lang kasimple.
Parang may audience!
Alam mo, hindi ko sinasabi na mag-clap. Pero nagka-clap lang sila parati.
Sabi nila, yay! Tapos, yay! Thanks, guys!